What up, world? Welcome back. I am Dwayne Langham. This is the Ave, Yolo Ave, the road least traveled. And you have just tuned in for another exciting conversation. In this video, I got to share a discussion I had with a client of mine asking about relationships. I wanted to touch on the keys of communication, which is the bridge of relationships. So the keys to communication, what do I mean by that? Well, there's a few key principles that you have to keep in mind. You see, a lot of times, if you're going through life with the wrong mindset, you can put yourself into relationships. And this is, love interest relationships and even just friendships. These are all relationships. Relationships with your family, relationships with your children, your parents. A lot of times in life, while we're trying to find ourselves, you end up walking around with a cup half empty, looking for someone else to fill up the other half of that cup and make you whole. That's the first flaw of getting into relationships, is realizing that you are whole and complete. You are all that you need. No one else can help make you better. Of course, the more, the merrier. Ideally, you want two people with full cups to give you a more full life, of course, adding together, but never completing each other. You see, two people who feel incomplete will often look to take from one another. And that is the first thing of relationships that you cannot do. If it is not a mutually beneficial experience, the relationship will not last. If it is not a two-way street, just like communication, which is why I say the keys to communication. Communication is mutual. It's a two-way street. It requires a sender and a receiver. And just like that, with any relationship, if communication is not maintained, the relationship dies. So just some key points on relationships for you to ponder. Take an evaluation of the relationships in your life. Look at the ones that are mutual. Look at the ones that are not mutual. Look at the ones that benefit you and check whether or not you're benefiting the other person. And don't get me wrong, this doesn't have to be monetary value. It doesn't have to be material value. It can just be laughter, friendship, a warm heart, support. There's a lot of ways to mutually benefit two people in a relationship. Some principles on communication that are absolutely vital is hearing the other person out. You see, just like communication, sender and receiver, in order to properly communicate in a relationship, you have to hear the other person. And I don't mean just giving them the time to talk while you listen. I mean really letting them be heard, really getting into their world, finding out what it is that matters to them. Because you would want the same thing for you. Do unto others as you would do for yourself. And as you often hear within communication, there's one side of the story, the other side of the story, and then there's the truth. So a lot of times what I advise my clients who are having relationship troubles, I always give them a third-party perspective. So you have to take yourself out of the situation, because with you comes your stories, which are completely made up, which comes your feelings, which are completely reactive, and then there's the truth of the matter. And guess what? The other person is doing just the same thing. So if you want to know the keys to relationship success, and this is for any relationship in your life, to your children, to your partner, to your spouse, to your parents, the first thing is open up the lines of communication. Take time to take yourself out of it. Hear what the other party has to say, and then make sure you are both mutually benefiting from the arrangement. And when's the best time to do this? Tomorrow is not promised, because as you know, today is the best day of your life. So go ahead and get started mending, building, and maintaining those relationships. Like the relationship to the Ave. We love it when you like, share, and subscribe. So since I just dropped this golden knowledge on you, go ahead and do that. And in the meantime, I wish you the best and only success. Peace. Time is money. Now what that breaks down to, how that correlates to opportunity cost, is simple. Your time is the most valuable resource that you have. Why? Because you can never get it back. So what you have to keep in consideration that anything you do throughout the day. Now what does all that mean? Time to power up. You wanna go through Super Mario, grab your mushroom. Power, as far as a human being, in my eyes, is best defined as the velocity at which thought, intention, or possibility can be manifested into reality. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I think you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.